let's say there is an integer array of size n and you have been given a sum. You have to check whether the array contains this sum or not. Sorry. Whether there is a pair in the array I and array j, such that this thing is equal to sum or not. Can I do it using hashing? Yes, I can. So what will you do? So you can, so again, like if this is your array, if let's say this is your first element, which is array 0, then automatically your second element becomes sum minus array of 0. So you just have to check whether this is present in the map or not, right? If this is present in the map, then you can say that, yes, it is true that this particular sum exists. So what will you do? There are many approaches to solve this. There are many ways to do this. First way is that first you populate your hash map, okay? So you can, let's say if you're using an ordered map of int map, then you can just go through the array, you can traverse the array for I equals to 0, I lesser than n, I plus plus, okay? And then what you can do is you can do map dot insert the key will be the element itself, and what value would you want to insert? Or in other words, does it matter which value I am going to insert? I just have to check whether a particular element is there or not. So does it matter which value I have to insert? I can literally insert any value. It could be 0, it could be 1, it could be -1, it could be anything. So let's say by default I am inserting this. Okay, so after this what I can do? After this I can simply, now my map is ready, so it would have got done in order n time. Again, like I am using unordered map, so everything will be order 1 on average. So now I can iterate on my array, and let's say I am at ith element. So if I see at this point of time that I am writing pseudocode, okay? If I see that map contains sum minus array I, if map contains this thing, then what should I do? I should return true. Okay, can something go wrong with this approach? Yes, what can go wrong with this approach? I think I had discussed it before also, right? That if, let's say this is your array and it contains 5, 7, 1, 1, 3, 2, okay? And your sum is equal to, let's say, 10. So first you populated your map. So your map contains 5, your map contains 5, 1, 7, 1, 1, 1, and this would have got overwritten again to 1, 1, 3, 1, 2, 1. Now once you travel through the array, then you check whether 10 minus 5 is there in the map or not. You will see that that is there in the map, and then you would return true. Is it right to do? Is it right to return true in this case? This is not right. Why? Because the frequency of 5 is just 1. There are not 2 instances of 5 in my array. So this can go wrong with this approach. So how can I solve this? Instead of storing this value, instead of storing any random value 1, 0 or something, can I store something else which helps me do the job? Yes, I can store the frequency, or I can store the index. Very good. You can do any of those. So let's say if I am storing the frequency, so for that what I can do is, I can do something like this, map of array I plus plus. And why I am doing this? Because what is the default value for any key? The default value is 0. So if you do map of key plus plus, automatically it will become from 0 to 1. And if it was 1, it would become 2. So it would ensure that after the end of this loop, I have frequency of 5 as 1, 7 as 2, frequency of 1 as 2, and things like this. Now what you can do is, you can have a special condition over here. So if you see that array I is equals to sum minus array I, which is if both the candidates are same, then if you see that the frequency of this thing is greater than 1, then only you will return 2. So if you see that map of AI, if this thing is greater than 1, then only you will return true. Otherwise, you will not return true. Otherwise, the else condition would be how it was. Okay, Else if you can just check whether the map contains sum minus array I. If it contains, then you will return true. And if you did not return true in this entire for loop, finally you will return false. So this is the check which could handle this thing up for you. What is the time complexity of this approach? Order n, right? Is there a way in which I can solve this problem in one traversal only? So here I performed order n traversal here as well and here as well. So is there a way that I can solve this problem in just one traversal, which is just order n traversal? So guys, I think I had talked about this before also once. So what I am trying to say is, while you are traversing the array, do not have this thing, okay? Do not have this thing as separate. In the same for loop where you are checking, if let's say you are at array of I, okay? If you are at array of I, you are checking for the existence of sum minus array of I, right? So in that for loop itself, you insert the element in the map as well. You do not pre-process that thing. So earlier you were doing a pre-processing where you were populating the map and then you were running this logic. Now what I am saying is, just on the go of this algorithm, you keep pushing the element in the map. Yeah, so what I am saying is, when you are iterating through this array, okay, so earlier you first processed this, put it in the map, and then you ran the core logic. I am saying while running the core logic itself, you push the elements in the map. You do not do it beforehand, right? So with that, what would happen is, one thing should come to your mind, that let's say there was a 4 over here and you want to check whether a sum of 9 can be made or not. So in this case, what should I return? Should it be a true or should it be a false? It should be a true, okay? Cool. So let's say I start with an empty map which doesn't have anything inside it. And currently I am here. Can you tell me what will be the other element that I will look out for when my first element is 5? I'll look out for 4. Is 4 present in the map? It is not present in the map, so I'll go ahead. So do you feel that I missed out the opportunity of clubbing this and this? Ideally I missed, but in reality I did not, because when I was at this 5, this 4 was not present in the map, but when I will be at this 4, then this 5 would definitely have been present in the map with whatsoever value it is. So once I am here, then if I check whether the sum minus this is present or not, and if that is present, then I can return true. Yeah, because it is simple. So if you have an array such that ai plus aj is equals to sum. So when you were here, you were trying to look for this and you did not get this. But when you will be here, you will look for this and you will have this. So you will not miss out on these cases. And if you write this kind of code, then this case will automatically get taken care of. Why? Because let's say you wanted a sum of 4 and let's say you are at 2. So the first thing that you do is to check the existence of 4 minus 2. So 2 would be there in the map only if it had come before. And if it had come before, then you should return true. So this is an important thing, and this is asked in interview also, that do not use 2 for loops, just use 1 for loop, save some lines of code and then see if you can get the job done. So you'll start with the map and then you will start iterating on the array from 0 to n minus 1. Okay, cool. Now answer me. Sometimes people get confused whether to put in the map first or whether to check in the map first. So you tell me, when I am at a of I, first I should put the element ai in the map, or first I should check whether sum minus ai exists in the map or not? What is the first thing that I should do? Put is wrong, check is right. Because see, again, like if you put this 2 first and you want to make a sum of 4, you will see that 4 minus 2, which is 2, has been put, right? So first you should check. So the whole idea was that, right? The whole idea was that. So the first thing that you should do is you should check if map dot contains sum minus array I. If the map contains this thing, it can never ever happen that the element which it contains is that element itself, because it has not been pushed yet. So if it contains something, it must contain something which has come before it, right? So in this case, I should directly return true. Otherwise, what should I do? Otherwise, I should simply, very good. Otherwise, I should simply put it in the map and then continue my iteration. So I would do map of whatever you want, map of AI equals to 1 or map.insert AI1, whatever you want. So even this is order and approach, but this is much cleaner approach in which that edge case automatically gets handled. Okay, cool.